Hello there and welcome along. It's Monday, the 16th of January 2012. Welcome to today's United Kingdom Talk. My voice has still not recovered, I'm afraid. It's still sounding rather deep, especially after my chatting away at the quiz night last night. I do a quiz night every Sunday evenings at Belushi's in Hammersmith. It is good fun. It's not. Don't think it's going to be serious. Hello? Do you know what I mean? Can you ever see me as serious? A lot of people who I went out with over the years said that was part of the problem, was that I'm not serious. Oh, you can't be serious, dear. You just end up in floods of tears and all that, don't you? Anyway, so quite a good quiz night last night. Once again, someone went off with the £50 to spend behind the bar. And they have to spend that money in the night. So sort of by the time the quiz is finished, it's around about 9:45 and the place closes at 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's not bad, is it? Four hours to spend 50 quid. Usually they can't stand up after that. Oh, God, hello, mate. Oh, God. Yeah, so I should think they're rather drunk after, especially if it's someone on their own winning. Well, that's usually a team. So there we are, quiz night every Sunday night between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. at Belushi's in Hammersmith. All are welcome. Incidentally, I've got a meeting tomorrow night, Tuesday, at another place, the Mayflower in Rotherhithe in southeast London. Someone there has shown an interest in me hosting a quiz like that. It's already going on there, but the guy who was doing it, I think he's about to leave or has already left, and someone's been filling in. So looking for a new host. So I've got a meeting tomorrow. So that will fill up my Tuesday nights, won't it? Because we've got a couple of nights free at the moment, Tuesday and Saturday, believe it or not. I'm still not booked. I've got the occasional Saturday in, as in the mobile DJ, but I don't have a permanent Saturday, and certainly not enough mobile Saturdays to do at the moment. People often say, a couple of close friends say, why do you want to work all the time? That's what I do, you know. It was Saturday, I had Saturday off. I spent the entire night in here, either in the little office where I am now in the Mirable Studios, or watching the television or something like that. And it is just so alien to me to do that. I like to be out trying to some sort of entertainment, whether it's DJing or karaoke, quiz nights, bingo, whatever. I like to be out doing something like that, you know, and I do find it very alien sitting in on a night like that with a cat on me. Like Katie's always pleased that I've not gone to work, you know, Katie the cat. Oh yes, she's quite happy she comes into the living room and she jumps on that. Like she scratches the kitchen door open, comes in, or if she can't get it open, she makes a noise. And she does make a noise when she wants to come into the house. Meow, 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 meow. And you can hear her with her claws pulling at the door trying to get it open. You can't ignore it. So you have to go out and open the door, and in she comes and jumps straight on your lap, and she sort of flops down, and her little paws are outstretched all the way up my neck. And sometimes I think she's trying to strangle me, to be honest. Anyway, so Saturday was off, and I was attracted to a couple of things in HMV, the record and record CD, and they do DVDs and things like that here in the UK. HMV, who I heard were in trouble, which wouldn't surprise me because everyone's downloading everything now, all downloading these films and what have you. Although I must say, you know, to download a film and sit there and watch it on your computer, it can't be a very nice experience. I've never done it. I've never watched an entire film on a computer. It's just a small screen. You know, I've got a lovely great big telly downstairs, a 50-inch job that I've had for a while now. And, you know, that's why you've got to watch telly. Anyway, I bought two things on special offer because people keep talking about it, and I've heard how wonderful it is. And it has one of my favourite actresses in it, Maggie Smith. Series 1 of Downtown Abbey, which was on special offer, £12, reduced from 25. So that's £12 for, I don't know how many episodes is on there. Let's have a little look. Oh, it doesn't say. Does it say on get the thing out there? Well, it just says Series 1, okay, however many episodes that is. So Downtown Abbey, I bought. It's not even out the blooming cellophane yet, you see. So I thought I'd give that a watch. And I also was attracted to this film, Apollo 18, okay? a synopsis on the back. It says, officially, Apollo 17, launched December the 17th, 1972, was the last manned mission to the moon. But a year later, in December of 73, 2 American astronauts were sent on a secret mission to the moon funded by the US. What you're about to see is footage which the astronauts captured on that mission. While NASA denies its authenticity, others say it's the real reason we've never gone back to the moon. So I watched this film, and I've got to tell you, don't bother. And that was 12 quid and all. I was really disappointed. I get disappointed when I spend money on something and I didn't enjoy it. So don't bother with that one. Apollo 18. I did actually put a little message on my Facebook wall about that. Just watched Apollo 18. What a load of rubbish. And had some comments from Tom in Switzerland, who says, I agree. He thought it was rubbish as well. Hello, Tom. You're right, Tom. Don't forget, Tom, if you want anyone who want anywhere to stay when you come over to the UK, give us a shout. Got a little spare space in my room. Always waiting. I light the candle for you, Tom. The candle is alight and waiting for my Tom in Switzerland. Gary says, glad you said that. We're thinking of getting it. I won't bother now. No, Gary, completely pointless. Gary, load of rubbish. Don't bother. Joe, young Joe says, I haven't watched it, but I've always wanted to. I wouldn't bother, Joe. It's just not good. It's not good. And if you're expecting to see monsters or anything like that, don't bother. There was another film, actually, that I was really disappointed with. It's about a couple of years ago, and it was filmed as if you were filming everything. I can't remember the name now. If you were filming everything on a home video camera. Anyone remember what that was called? It was dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. And you did see monsters for about 3 seconds, I think, was the total of them. Anyone remember what that was? It was awful. And all the time this camera was shaking. When I first went in to see the film, I thought, oh, it's obviously just the beginning of the film. But it was the entire film. You know, it was so off-put. I hated that film. Can't remember what it was called now. Robert Charles, he says, I thought the same. He didn't enjoy the film. And Alexander says, girl with dragon tattoo is rubbish too. Watched it last night, be warned. So girl with the dragon tattoo apparently is a load of rubbish as well. A good film to go to the cinema at the moment, which I mentioned last week, of course, is The Iron Lady, starring Meryl Streep as Margaret Thatcher. Very, very good film. Is Margaret Thatcher like that now? I don't know. Not sure. Do I care? Yeah, I do. Because I liked her. I like Margaret Thatcher. Good, strong lady, isn't she, eh? So that is a good film to watch. Even if you didn't... I thought about this. Even if you didn't know Margaret Thatcher, if you're too young, it's a good film about someone who's got dementia and what actually happens. All right, my darlings? What else did I do at the week? Oh, here's a question for you. Has anyone ever done microlighting? Now, they are the little planes with kind of a fabric thing over the top, and you literally hang down off a plane, off a frame, rather. And you go up, and there's a little motor at the back, and up you go. Has anyone done that? I would actually quite like to do this. Now, the thing is, I'm afraid of heights. Okay? I'm really not very good with heights. And the other thing is, I have flown, years ago, I had a lesson in a 2-seater Cessna, little plane type thing, right? And I noticed on that, you know, the slightest bit of wind and it pushes you feel the plane drop, or a little bit of turbulence or something like that. And I wondered, I'm assuming the microlights are going to be exactly the same as that. Has anyone done microlighting? And they do seem to go up a lot higher than you'd think they go. Can you do microlighting at a low level, or do planes sort of have to go up that high for whatever reason? If anyone knows that, please let us know. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Alrighty, are you liking the voice still? I quite like this deep voice. Got to say hello to Canada and Matthew, who sent in this email at the middle of last week. Hello, Matthew. Says, hello, Chris. I hope things are well with you and your voice is making a recovery. Well, not quite, actually. No, it's still a bit rasping. I just thought I would take some time to reply to some of the things you've been talking to us or with us recently. First of all, in regards to cutting and editing your videos in the same fashion as many are doing now. You can actually see this on YouTube. A good example is a young lad I mentioned recently called Charlie is Cool. Okay, basically does the same sort of thing as me, except he's half my age. Has thousands and thousands of people subscribed, probably because he's young and the girls think he's cute. That's what happens, I'm afraid. You get older, you lose numbers, but it doesn't matter. And he does a very good show. You know, it must be a good show, so many people are watching it. But rather than look at the camera and run through the whole thing, he then chops it about. So you get little bits, you know, where it's sudden. Yeah, it's difficult to explain. Have a look on his YouTube channel, Charlie is Cool, okay? And see what you think of that. I believe the lad is making quite a lot of money out of that and has bought a flat in London and everything. And good luck to him. Absolutely good luck to him. Martin says, I feel that it would be a complete waste of your time. And I agree with James and yourself regarding the fact that it's too much to handle when all this cutting happens. I honestly would have to start strictly listening to your shows rather than watching them, as I have a hard time viewing such rapid motions that cutting can cause. Yeah, I find it difficult to watch that as well. Matthew, I don't know if it's if again that's an age thing and, you know, young people prefer it cut around like that. As I said, a couple of people suggested to me, oh, well, that's how a lot of the YouTube videos are going. Perhaps I'm not appealing to that sort of audience, if you see what I mean. You know, I think you build up a very nice group of, shall we say, friends, I think friends rather than audience. I think you build that up over time. When you start mucking about with things, they all get a little bit pissed off. You know, and you start, and then you lose bit. And do you know what I mean? And to me, this show has always been about sitting down, having a bit of chat. Don't want to do too much technical stuff. I mean, I really pushed the boat out this year. We've got a new intro and a new exit, haven't we? Yes. And hopefully I'm going to find a few more of those. I'm very, very pleased with those. Although hardly anyone mentioned them. I don't know why I bother. I really don't. He says, in regards to the length of your shows recently, I must admit that I prefer the longer shows where you allow yourself the time to talk to us about things that are going on in your life and allowing for time for a story or two, as well as having enough time to read out our emails and be able to give your feedback to them, rather than having to read them with very little feedback, which is really what I've gone back to doing over the last few days. You may or may not have noticed that they are getting a bit longer. But I do also think, you know, that people, certainly those that watch the show, haven't got the time to sit in front of a computer for an hour and watch me rabbit on for that length of time. Although 10 minutes, it would appear, isn't long enough, if you see what I mean. So it's finding that, I think 15 to 20 minutes, maybe even half an hour, but that's absolutely tops. But yes, I hope you've noticed it. We've kind of slowed down a little bit. Shall we say we've slowed down a bit rather than having to rush through to get it all in 10 minutes. Matthew says, personally, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk about the subjects that are brought to you through emails by listeners and viewers to the show, as I'm sure all the people who write into the show do. It really gives us a chance to feel like we can truly connect with you about the many things we talk about day to day. Yes, again, by sort of going a bit longer again, I think it does. I think you connect, you know, 10 minutes, quick, bang, it's finished. You know what I mean? And to go on a little bit longer does allow you, I think, to connect more easily. Regarding the sex toys being put on the shelves in Boots the Chemist's, we were talking about that, of course, last week, I feel that they should stay in speciality shops and not in shops where children are as they need time to live the life of a child and not be exposed to sex at such an early age. Because as it is, the life of a child already flies by so quickly. So I agree with you 100% on this. And yeah, Boots the Chemist are trying out in one of their... do you know, I'm just looking around. I don't know where I put... Oh, there it is over there. Boots the Chemist are now putting sex toys on the shelves in a couple of their branches, just trying it out. This was on the news. And I was saying, what do you think about that? I personally don't go along with it at all. And you know, when we say children, we're not talking teenagers, say, over the age of 14, okay? So anything under 14, I really don't think they should be exposed to such things. They don't need to know anything about sex or anything like that. I mean, when you was, come on, I know it's a long time ago, when you was like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, did you ever once think about sex? Of course you didn't. Of course you didn't. So why do they need to be exposed to it now? It's just a bit too much. It really is. These people, they should be playing, you know, little boys with, I don't know, computer games or electric train sets, and girls with dolls, and of course you remember when I was little, when my sister's presents when she was little, and she would have a little doll and, you know, put nappies on it and milk bottles in its mouth, and then the doll would sort of wet itself, and she'd have to change like the pretend nappy and all sorts of things like that, you know? And then she would do the doll's hair up and buy another set of clothes and all that business. Surely that's what childhood's about, isn't it? Not going into Boots the Chemist and saying, oh, Mum, what's that? What do you do with that? Or what do you say to them? What would you say to a child? You know, what's that, Mum? Would you say, oh, it's a dildo? Would you? I don't think you can you? How can you say that? You can't say that. No. They should live their lives as children, I think. A few shows back, it's funny, the voice I've got, it actually isn't sore at all. It's just a little bit of laryngitis, I think. Is that a bug? Am I being infected again? Oh my God, infection has taken hold. Carry on, calmly but forcefully. A few shows back, you brought up the subject of learning from books or learning by being shown. I too am more of a hands-on person like you, and I need to be shown to be good at something. Yes, me too. I can't learn from a book. You know, you look trying to find out. I know you never quite. Especially certain things like repairing or sorting out the gears on your bicycle, right? You can look on YouTube. You can find little films, instructions, all that and the other. But I need to be shown by someone standing next to me. And when I do, no, you don't do it like that. This is, oh, right, okay. Then I will learn. It's impossible. I've been keeping an eye out, actually, in the local college. I think I'd quite like to go, perhaps, on a car maintenance course and a bicycle maintenance course. They must do them somewhere. Mustn't they, eh? And my bike's got these new brakes as well. They are disc brakes. So instead of having the wheel, you know, and you've got the two brake pads either side of the wheel and they go like that, instead of having that, there's actually a disc in the centre of the wheel and a little gadget there which presumably pushes two things against the disc, or one thing, I don't know, whenever you need to stop. But I don't know how to change them. They don't need changing yet, but at some point they will do. I haven't got a clue how they work. I've looked up on the internet as well. It's not easy, is it? They make these things difficult, so you've got to take them in the cycle shop. That's why. Matthew says, that's how I managed to get on so well with DJing. I was shown by a professional, and by seeing something happen in front of you, it becomes much easier, in my opinion, to visualise yourself being good at that particular thing. So, there we are. I was asking you about when you're dying, okay, what do you think will be your regrets, okay? And Matthew writes, I put some thought into the topic you brought up last week on January the 12th regarding the 5 things I regret most if I was on my deathbed, and here they are. Number 1, not seeing enough of the world we live in. And he says travelling more than I have. So he'd like to travel a bit more. Number 2, not allowing myself to have more fun in life due to working so much. Yeah, I know a lot of people. I do actually have the printout from one of the newspapers. They did this survey of, 5 regrets on your deathbed. And one of I think the top one was, I worked too much. Maybe I mean, I'm so guilty of that one myself. But on the other hand, working is I love it. You know, I love doing karaoke and DJing and all this. I love to try and entertain people. So that's what I love. So perhaps one could say that I don't actually work. Could you say that? Because I'm lucky that I enjoy what I do. Sometimes you have a bum night, but that's the way it goes. Matthew says, number 3, not making enough time to be around the ones who are so close to my heart. Hands up. Me too. Me too. I'd love to spend more time with my sister and her children. I really would. Number 4, I'd regret not doing more for those who were less fortunate than myself. Hand goes up again. One of the things I'd often thought of doing is perhaps, going to one of these countries where they have terrible things happening, diseases or whatever, and doing something to help them, handing out the medication or something like that. I don't know how it all works, really. And number 5, I regret not taking more risks in life due to the fear of failure. Again, hand up there, Martin. We are so alike. We really are so alike. One of the risks I might take is microlighting. Eh? Should I do it? What do you reckon, Martin? Matthew? Martin? It's your surname. I get confused between your surname and it. He says, I would be most interested in what you have to say if I was to ask you the same question, Chris, which I've already asked. Have you put some thought into it as I have? Do let me know. Also, I have a question to ask. Would you consider doing a British voiceover for my mobile voicemail? I would really enjoy it and appreciate it. If you're interested, just let me know and I can get you a script. No problem at all. Okay, send it through. Usual email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and I will send it back to you. A little voiceover for you. I might wait for my voice to improve. It can't be much longer. It's going to be like this. He says then, I must admit, I'm sure looking forward to seeing that package in my mail containing the Walkers cheese and onion crisps. I have been craving them so badly since you agreed to send some over. And you know what? I read this the other day, Matthew, and I remembered I hadn't done it, have I? I haven't done it yet. And the reason I hadn't done it was because that email came in just before Christmas, as you remember. And I thought, well, I won't do it now because it would get caught in all the Christmas rubbish and you'd get lost and all that sort of thing. And I thought I'd do it in January, but I'd completely forgotten about it. So here, Matthew, you have sent me your email, your postal address, and I shall do those in a minute. I will ensure that I share, however, as I think it's time that my Canadian friends discover some of the great products that the UK produces. Anyway, I hope you have a fantastic day, and as always, you're in my thoughts and prayers each and every day, Chris. And that's Matthew from Canada. Well, they write lovely emails. You really do, Matthew. Well, because I read that email, of course, privately, before I did the show today, I have been out shopping. Young Matthew, I have. And I first have a little box, okay? Now, the thing is, it's one of those boxes you have to put together yourself. And I never found this particularly easy. What I should have done, I think, is gone up to the supermarket and got one of their Apple boxes or something like that. So you've got to put this box together. Can you see all right or what? Shall I move? Let's move over. Hang on a second now. All right, so we've got our flat box here. This will be fun. I just know that I'm not going to be able to do this. Complete with instructions how to make a box. Okay. Right. What are you... Oh, that's it. I've pulled it apart. Okay. Let's see how we get on with this then. This is all for you, Matthew. It really is. Right. So let's flatten it out. I'll see if I can do this without looking at the blooming instructions. That looks about right, doesn't it? Oh, hang on. No, I think I might be able to do this. 1 second. Oh, look, something I can do. Hang on. Put that like that there. Is that right? It's got like little slots here. I don't know what they're for. Why would that have slots? Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, I've got it. Okay, so you fold those in there. Fold that side. Yes, lovely. Fold that side there. Oh, I could have been on Blue Peter. What's happened to Blue Peter? It's down to 1 episode a week now, isn't it? It's all gone to... There we are, look. I have made... Oh, I'm very... Do you know, I thought I was going to be here for at least another half an hour doing this with you. I really did. So that's that. So we got your box, Martin. Okay. We got your box. And we've also got... Look at this. Your Walker's cheese and onion crisps. So we get 1 whole packet in there, like that. And we get a couple of bonus packs on top there for you. And that's it, done. Way, yep. Oh, well, it's a good job I didn't do that early in the show, because I thought that was going to last about 10 minutes. That it was all over and done within 2 minutes, weren't it? We'll just fold that. Is there anything else I can put in there for you? Let me have a look. I don't think I've got anything to give you. What have I got to give you here? No, there's nothing else. Can't see anything else. No. Nothing else. There must be something I can put in there for you. A little gift of some sort. No, that'll have to do. It'll just be the crisps then. All right. Got the brown sticky tape on the top there. And I shall put your address on there, Martin. Matthew. And I'll finish taping it up after I've said goodbye. Okay, so look out for your box. It is in the post now. Okay, we'll see how quickly that goes to Canada. And Millie in Minnesota. I've also, don't think I've forgotten. I had forgotten until Matthew reminded me. Okay, I have also got a box of Walker's cheese and onion crisps for you. I'm sure it was you who answered. Can you come back to me with your full postal address, Millie? And I shall post them to you. Then you can sit there in your wheelchair, stuff in your face, watching more episodes of this show. That's it for today. Thanks for joining us. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Don't forget, it doesn't matter the length of your email. You can send a short email or indeed an epic email, okay? chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. On the next show, a nice long email from the wonderful Fagash Lil Boys and Girls. Oh, there's just a text coming in there. Oh, it looks like I'm working next Saturday. How wonderful. I've got a next Saturday. Yep, lovely. Brilliant. So I'm working next Saturday. Oh, by the way, it's Monday night if you're around the South London area. Okay, on Monday nights, I'm doing karaoke night at Belushi's in Borough High Street, 10 p.m. till 2 a.m. Okay, each and every Monday night, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Thanks for watching and listening. I'll see you on the next show. Bye-bye.